Hello traders, welcome to another post session review. Sorry that this video is getting out late, but we did have some company over and we had to do the family thing. Nonetheless, we didn't have any trades today in the intraday. We will cover that as well. But a lot of you asked about the longer term position that I took and what I saw. Basically, what we have to see here is that we had a proper correction and then we had a huge projection to the upside with really good momentum and inability from the sellers to try to engage here. Part of that is because there's no structure to the left, which leads longer term traders or some of these other traders that are maybe looking for shorts to take profit with an inability to refer to structure to the left. So then you tend to see more of these actions taking place around round numbers is where you can see some of these decisions being taken more collectively. Nonetheless, what I saw here was that I had nice momentum and huge projection to the upside. I wasn't expecting overall a deep correction. My initial, if you remember, my initial limit entry was somewhere around here, the 2700 area, as there was more of a footprint here for my selling and then from a buying absorption here that took over. So there was a good mix of buying and selling here that led me to the SOS2 signal, which is ratio confluence and immediate structure. But I also found myself watching a willing and ability for the buyers to try to reabsorb the money up here at these high levels. It almost seems unnatural that the buyers will be willing to spend more money up here. Okay, at which point at some point it was overtaken and price did have a proper correction to the 38%. Again, my limit order did not get filled, but I saw price come back up near the highs here, and then I saw the sellers engage again and come back down. They were unable to make an immediate close, and the buyers were able to fight them off numerous times to take price back up here. So it seemed to me that the buyers were very willing to defend this price level. So I felt good about getting long there. And instead of entering with the 200 contracts, I entered with 100 contracts because I also knew the significant amount of risk here that I was taking on, and I did not want to add on a lot of contracts up here in case price did move significantly against me. I wanted to give myself more options from a averaging in standpoint and from a rescuing mission standpoint. I wanted to have those options to me. So, but I did not want to miss the opportunity, as I saw that every time the sellers come in, the buyers were able to come back almost 100% every single time, which told me that the sellers were not able to accumulate as a whole, and that both sides were working very hard to consume each other and to absorb each other on a larger scale, and that told me that it's going to require a lot of money for the sellers to do that. That the market as a whole has not decided to, you know, realize those profits, which will cause a much meaningful and more consistent correction to the downside. But it's been a mix, and the market has turned into a range bound market at this high and at these lower levels here. So I felt pretty good about the defense being coming into play here. So I got filled here at these lows. Price did go against me a little bit, and we did start making small progresses towards a consistent order flow back to the upside. And I was up here around 90 points of profit, which was a really nice return, and overnight I set my profit target here only because I wasn't sure how the market was going to react to these highs. I felt that the sellers were going to engage, and I did not want to have the market come against me completely and then find myself in trouble after a nice test of structure where I would need to get to a break even anyway. So I saw the price had gone above the area that I expected to hold on the test. So I locked in the 20 points, and for the most part, I survived the overnight hours. I survived the morning hours, and shortly after the market opens, where I got taken out at my plus 20. So I made a nice little gain there, but that was the reason why I got into the trade. That's why I got into the trade a little earlier, adjusting my limit entry, and that's why I managed the way that I did. I was going to get out of this trade regardless today, because today is Friday. I did not want to hold a trade in a vulnerable position with huge risk over the weekend and have the gap significantly work against me in the weekend with 100 contracts on the line. So I typically try to get out of these trades unless I absolutely don't have a choice. I get out of these trades before the weekend comes in. So that's enough on the longer term. On the intraday, things were slightly more complicated, and and off the bat, we see that overall the market did make a new low, but intraday wise, and more of the more intraday order flow structure here, we see that intraday we made it a new high above this. That's the market speaking to us. The market produced a higher low and a new structure high, followed by a complex correction. And price made a very weak new structure low here. Um, Initially, I was looking for longs. I felt that overall the market was still bullish. This could be looked at as a retest, and that's another important thing for you guys to understand, is that when we look at an area and you ask yourself, is this a new structure low? Yes, technically it did close below, but if you ask 100 people, you know, is this a new structure low or is this a retest? You're going to get mixed answers, okay? And if you don't get if you believe that, you're going to have a mix of answers, then you don't have a clear, definitive answer from everyone that's consistent, then consider it a retest more than a new structure low. But as price made a new low here, and the market failed to make uh, another new low here and had a complex correction all the way back up to the outside, gave me a sense that this market was bullish, and I was looking overall for a long. Um, then I got distracted. I started talking with my buddies, and we started looking at some videos, and I got distracted, which caused me not to take a long here, which I would have been looking for a long here, and that probably would have been a loser in all fairness and transparency. But then I wanted to look for a short, and I wanted to look for a short in this area, and I posted that in the thread. I posted the cucumber there. I posted the confluence of the ABCD in the more immediate order flow, where D comes to play, where ratio exhaustion sets in, and where the footprint is. And as we can see, price interacted with that area very nicely. It just happened after 12 o'clock when I needed to pick up my daughter, so I ended up not being able to take this trade, which would have been a nice little run. But that's why I didn't take the trade. We were very range bound today, and it's not a comfortable feeling taking a trade in the middle of the range. You usually want to wait for the better risk reward, the test of that structure. Since we are in range, price is likely going to test those structures up and down. And I expected the overall this market to break to the upside. It looks like it first completed a new structure low, which would have had us looking for short term and eventually have an expectation failure to the upside. But that's the nature of ranges. I think I've made a live stream that was more of a range bound market, and I think we traded it successfully. Um, but I'm going to make a video on the two questions that were posted in the thread. One has to do with price uh, staying in a range in an area of interest for an extended period of time. And we're going to talk about ranges. We're going to talk about the dynamics of ranges, what's happening in ranges, and how to look at a range from a standpoint of what side should prevail. And we're going to dissect that in a bonus video, in a questions and answers video. And then we're going to make another video on the question that was asked about the pattern and how a larger pattern interacts with a smaller pattern, and which one takes precedence. And we're gonna talk about that also in another Q&A video, and I'm gonna work on those over the weekend and start and publish those. But for the most part, this is just a very short video since we didn't take an intraday trade. Overall, I'm still very pleased with the way the account is developing. We had that really nice gain yesterday that really put a dent on the drawdown. I expect a very nice trading week next week because we're going to follow our trade plan, and we're going to keep working on the money management, and we're just a few trades away from recovery. That's just the way the risk reward works out, and it's beautiful that it does that way. On the longer term, we'll wait till next week to see if we have any other opportunities. It looks like the sellers are actually getting something going for the most part on the longer term. So I may look towards deeper entries in line with the expectation to the upside. I'm gonna look to see if we have any harmonic patterns working out, maybe a complex ABCD correction into a D entry long. We'll look at those during the week. And for the most part, that's it. I mean, there's going to be a short one today. We really don't have much to talk about. We didn't take an entry, but I did want to see. I did want you to see what I was looking for. How I wasn't really in. Today was a goof off day more than anything else. I was looking for a short here. I just price didn't get there by the time I was willing to take it. I was already on the road. So, but I identified this ahead of time. I identified this area, and I wanted you to see how price got there, how developing a good area of interest based on harmonics and ratios is extremely powerful and helps you time your entries, or at least look in the right area for the trade, so that when the time comes that the price does get there, all you need is that signal. Everything else has been processed ahead of time. All right. So that's it. I appreciate all the support the channel has been getting in these last few days. The subscriptions are way up. I am beyond humbled at the amazing, wonderful, complimentary posts that you guys put on. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful. And together, we're going to take your trading to that next level. And we're going to keep doing this until everyone knows about this channel, until everyone has a fair shot at achieving profitable consistency in your trading. You know, if I can do it, you can do it. Um, we're going to get there together. Okay, I'm going to keep doing these every day, and we're going to keep polishing that crystal ball. I'm going to keep sharpening your skills, and my goal is to get you to find consistency and profitability in your trading so you can achieve your life goals. Thank you very much. God bless. Good luck and good trading.